All right, here we go. Part two. We've got some blend modes working. We've got a couple of layers going on. I've got my picture of Cape Beckinsale here overlaid over a rock texture wall. So we've done a good chunk of work in the first part. The last part's just kind of to pretty it up a little bit and finish it off with a little text piece going on here. So in the end of part one, I cropped it. So basically, and again, have some creativity and leaving a lot of room for creativity for you guys on your picture. I cropped it because I had a little bit of brick left over on the top. So now basically I just have the picture here and I'm going to add some text. So similar to Photoshop, you've got this text tool through Aviary. I'm going to click on that. I believe that most of you will have the stencil font. You may not, but if you do, I'd use it. It's a pretty good font for this look. If you don't, I want you to pick a font that's got some thick, some thicker letters than normal. What we're going to do is we're going to add the person's name to this, and we're going to jitter it and distort it and do all kinds of things with it and make it look distressed, just like the rest of the picture. So I am going to click on the text tool. I've got my stencil font. My size is like 127. It's pretty big. I think I've figured out that white is probably going to look pretty good on this picture considering it's a pretty dark background. So I choose the color white right up here. And then what I'm going to do is click in the picture anywhere. And I'm going to type her first name in capital letters. And what you'll see is, let me close that palette, and what you'll see is there's a text layer. So Aviary, same thing as Photoshop, creates a text layer based upon what you do. Now, the problem with Aviary as opposed to Photoshop is anything I want to do now to this layer, it's going to ask me a question in a quick second to convert it to a bitmap. Keep in mind, text layers, as well in Photoshop, are handled differently than any other layer. So a little interesting the way Aviary does this. So I want to transform this, and you notice if you go up to the edit menu, you've got some transform things up here, but Aviary comes with a very powerful tool. Second one down, if I go down below the move tool, there's this transformation tool, and I click on that, and here's what I'm talking about. Here's the warning that Aviary gives you. In order to continue, you'll need to convert this text layer to a bitmap. Basically what it's doing is it's creating the text and making a picture out of the text, which actually takes kind of a page out of a vector-based program which does the same thing. But once you do that, it allows you to treat the text like a picture, which will allow you to add a bunch of effects to it. The only problem is that if you want to change your text after that, you won't be able to. So in a way, it's kind of limiting in that nature, where Photoshop will allow you to do some things and change the text as well by keeping it a text layer. So would you like to convert it anyway? I have no choice. If I want to transform this, I have to convert it. I say yes. I get my my bounding box, my transform box similar to Photoshop. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this over here. You notice your total transform tool allows you to resize stuff, allows you to distort things. If I move it off the center, it should allow me to rotate. There it is right there. Let me try to get that tool again. I'm just moving it around to see if I can get the rotate tool. There it is right there. So I go towards the corner, but not on the corner piece. It gives me the rotate piece, and I'm going to rotate it. And I'm going to put it right on the side of her head, kind of. Rotate it back a little bit more. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull on it, make it a little bit bigger so it fits right into that space right there. Right about there. So we'll keep it right there. And again, comparison to Photoshop, there's no check mark that says apply transformation. There's a redo and an undo, but there's really, if you notice, I'm up in my menus and not a lot's active again. That's because I'm still in that transform mode. In order to get out of transform mode for Aviary, I'm just going to click on the move tool. It's going to say, do you want to apply the current changes? I'm going to say yes. I'm out of that transform tool. So I have this new layer called Kate, and to kind of blend it in with the rest of the picture, we're going to give it some jitter. So I'm going to go to jitter, and I'm actually going to max out the jitter on this, and you'll see what that does in a second. Kind of distresses it even more. I click apply, so you'll see it kind of looks like the rest of everything. I'm trying to get off this text tool here, but so we've got some jitter, and the last thing I really want to do is we're going to put a drop shadow on it. as always, because I just think drop shadows look pretty good on text, especially with that jitter. It kind of pulls up the jitter a little bit with the black background on the shadow. And let me see this may not look good, but no, that's going to take away the jitter effect, so I don't want bevel. So I'm going to put drop shadow on, and you can do whatever measurements you want to do within here. Actually, that looks pretty cool, the knockout, but you can't really see the letters. That's going to be an inner drop shadow, and then you've got some other things you can mess around with here too, but no biggie. I like the way it looks just like that. Use your creativity, use your judgment, your best judgment call. I'm going to click OK, and there's my poster image of Kate Beckinsale combined with textures and colors, and I'm actually pretty proud of this one. So there we go. So I'm going to go reminder, save your work. You haven't saved, I'm going to go to save as. I am going to call it Kate on the wall, and I'll give it a description, Kate Beckinsale with textures. I'll put my name up in here as a tag so people can find this one, and then we'll throw Kate Beckinsale in there as well. So good enough. Save as new creation. And it's going to save. This is taking a while. It's a pretty big picture. I probably should have resized it once I was done. Just keep in mind this is about a 1024 by 1000 or 1024 by 750 size picture. So it's taken a little bit of time. And once this is done, it'll provide me with a URL. And again, I can't stress enough, this is something you need to get credit for. So you're going to take this Aviary page URL, make sure you grab that and say copy it, and you're going to post that over to Edmodo so that I can just click on it and go see it.